Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, I think the most noticeable thing that you've probably seen so far is the fact that the winds are really breezy out there, and also the cloud cover and humidity making it feel very oppressive and humid. We have a 74-degree dew point. That's midsummer-like dew points, and a temperature of 85 degrees. That's kind of held down just a little bit by that onshore flow of air and by the cloud cover. But the south-southwest wind at about 24 miles per hour has gusted as high as 37 officially. I'm sure in some places nearby it's gusted even higher than that. We have had storm reports north of us of gusts up to about 50 miles an hour. So some very strong winds. And if you look at the dew point values, which is, again, that amount of moisture that's in the air, typically have dew point values in the mid-70s in the dog days of summer. Check it out. I mean, we've got a 77-degree dew point in Key West, and the winds are blowing all of that northward. 74 degrees in Sarasota. In areas where it's been raining heavily and some of that drier air aloft has filtered down to the surface, we have some lower dew point values. But that dry air aloft is, again, one of the reasons that we may see some very gusty winds associated with some of these storms. And because of the gusty winds, we also have a little bit of a shear, a rotation in the atmosphere caused by the twisting of the winds. And that is inducing the potential for some organized storms, as well as you can't rule out an isolated tornado or two as this whole system sinks southward. It's all part of a very complex double-barrel low-pressure area and a frontal boundary curving back toward Gulf waters, sinking southward, tapping into that warm, deep tropical moisture and bringing us those showers and thunderstorms. The air is just loaded with moisture all the way to higher levels of the atmosphere, and that is helping to produce some of the rainfall totals that I expect we'll see today, about 4 inches or so. Now, drier air coming in from behind this system is producing the potential for some of those gusty winds as well. Stormy afternoon, particularly the second half of the afternoon, and possible severe weather. Again, the biggest threat for us today would be the gusty winds of a severe thunderstorm, as well as the potential for some hail as well, some moderate-sized hail. Down on the list of threats would be a tornado or two, but we can't rule it out, and certainly it's possible. Clearing then as that front moves through here early tomorrow morning and high pressure begins to build in. A very rapid clearing, actually. This is the RPM computer model, and you see those storms moving through rapidly and then clearing taking place thereafter. The storms moving through just about at drive time this evening. So taking a look at some of the shower and thunderstorm activity kind of wrapping up around an area of low pressure to the north of us, you can see all of the lightning associated with some of these cells. I mean, tremendous amounts in this little cluster right here. We have 1,500 lightning strikes contained within this one little box. And there's more thunder and lightning out in Gulf waters that gradually has to drift closer to us. Funnel cloud has been reported south of Jacksonville. We've had 2 areas where we had some instruments detect 50-mile-an-hour plus winds. So all of this gradually drifting closer, though I will say this cluster of showers seems to be weakening somewhat, but down to the south we've had more numerous lightning strikes in the last hour or so. All of this heading toward us will probably produce some flooding rains as well right during drive time, as well as that potential risk for severe weather. Though most of that risk lies just to our north, I suspect we'll probably see some of those watches issued further to the south, including part of our area as we go through the afternoon. I'll put the rainfall chance at 100% today, some of it heavy, and then clearing tomorrow, followed by a pretty nice couple of days. I mean, this is a late season cold front, and there will be some slightly cooler air and some slightly drier air back behind it, making for a very nice Memorial Day weekend.